What has the COVID-19 virus made you realize? All those things I never have time to do? I was lying to myself. I lack the mental energy to do more than the bare minimum society requires of me. How much you touch your face and how often you touch public surfaces. How much food I actually waste on a regular basis. I always thought we did pretty good about not buying too many groceries or making too much, ordering too much, etc. How wrong I was. I set a goal for our household that we would use up all of our leftovers before making new stuff. It's forced me to be creative and experiment in the kitchen. Really shows you how long your pantry fridge can actually last you. That I took so many things for granted, like going to restaurants and just being able to go to a supermarket without worrying about what they may or may not have. Most people do not understand exponential growth. How many jobs, meetings really can be done remotely. That I married the right person. We've been self-isolating for 2 weeks now, and being with him makes the biggest difference to my overall happiness. I didn't realize how much my work defined who I am. I am a barber, and after a week and a half of not doing it, I feel very incomplete. As cheesy as it may sound, it's my art form and it gives me a lot of meaning. I am very hopeful, though, that I'll make it through this and be able to do it again. Being on quarantine is difficult as duck living out of your car. How much my best friend means to me. Heard his voice after a week at home. We are both very introverts, so don't call that much. So when we finally found a game to play together, our first interaction went like this. Me. Hey. Friend. Hey. Me. It's good to hear your voice again. Friend. I missed you. Me. Missed you too. Edit. I went to sleep and came back to my most upvoted comment ever, and even with an award. Thank you. And the game was Fortnite. Because that's the only free game we could play with crossplay. I'll probably never get to hug my grandpa again, and he'll die thinking his family abandoned him. He's over 90 and in a nursing home. He can barely hear and is almost completely blind, so it's very difficult for him to comprehend what's going on and why we can't go see him. Because of the lockdown, I found that people think my preferred way of living is hell. Edit. I did not expect to wake up to all these replies and upvotes. Thanks for all the love, Reddit fam. Stay strong. I was not washing my hands enough. I miss hanging out with my brother and sister. We're all in our late 20s-ish. I'm the oldest at 30, and the three of us have hung out all day every day for 8 days now. I love it. Having the option to do something and not doing it sucks far less than not having that option at all. Our system isn't prepared for a big outbreak of some kind of sickness. A large portion of this country lives paycheck to paycheck. I've always seen the stats but never fully realized the effect of that until now. Edit. I am in the US. That I basically practice social distancing every day already. Just how privileged I am. Don't get me wrong. I have plenty that keeps me up at night. But compared to the trouble a lot of people are in, my worries are nothing. This country is full of people having to choose between risking their family's health versus risking eviction. Folks with parents in nursing homes who they can't visit. People with chronic health conditions who are terrified of a flare up while the hospitals are full. Hospital workers who are living in their garages because there are PPE shortages at work and they're afraid of infecting their families. I can't imagine how much stress a lot of my neighbors are under right now. 1. Truck drivers and healthcare workers really are the backbone of this country. 2. Confirmed that celebrities are incredibly out of touch with the real world. We're all in this together from my $40 million mansion. That I was working too hard. Because of all the suffering. I'm actually kind of ashamed to admit this has been great for my mental health. That I really want to work from home permanently. This has been the best work week in a while. How much we take for granted that everything just works. That things like a global supply chain just work. That an average Joe like me can, in the dead of winter, reliably expect to see oranges in the produce aisle. How much we now rely on others as a society. Globally, we rely on manufacturing from around the world. Food grown around the world. They rely on our purchasing things. How incredibly connected we can be. With modern ships and airplanes and the internet. And how we didn't realize how fragile that was. Or how intricately everything connected. When this all started, I didn't care about toilet paper. Or food for myself. I only cared about one thing. Was I going to be able to feed my cats? They are broken and spoiled. They have special dietary needs. Would I be able to get a reliable source of beef venison and green pea? Or hydrolyzed proteins? Or chicken I can boil for my dude who has a sensitive tummy? And no teeth. Would the pet stores have enough stock of wet food that he could tolerate? And it humbled and awed me to see an orderly line in front of the vet's office of people maintaining social distance. Isn't it funny? We said to each other. What we take for granted. I never thought. One guy hollered. That I would ever be worried about finding food for my dog. Teachers are extremely patient. We are like butterflies that flutter for a day and think it is forever. Carl Sagan.